This is just my opinion. I might be wrong. I'm sure you're familiar with this. I don't know if this makes any sense. Some of the smartest people I know sound insecure when they speak, and I don't mean that they lack knowledge. They have knowledge. I mean, these are people who are thoughtful, capable, intelligent, who have generally good ideas. But the moment they start speaking, their message suddenly becomes smaller, softer, less certain. And you hear phrases like, this might sound stupid. I might be wrong. This is just my opinion. Or, I'm sure you're familiar with this. I don't know if this makes any sense. Less competent people usually don't do this at all. Because usually this isn't an intelligence problem, it's a protection mechanism. Many intelligent people overthink communication because they can already anticipate disagreement, criticism, misunderstanding, or being judged. So before anyone else can minimize their idea, they minimize it first. Almost like they're trying to soften the impact before the world has a chance to react. And on the surface, it does sound polite, humble, careful. But underneath it, there's often fear. Fear of sounding arrogant, being wrong, taking up too much space. Fear of disturbing the room. So instead of communicating clearly, what they do is they start editing. They start editing themselves in real life. And the result is something very strange. A strong idea delivered weakly. I see them constantly in meetings and leadership environments and with people that really know what they're saying. Someone has a very valuable perspective. However, they bury it under hesitation, disclaimers, over-explaining. Unfortunately, the room doesn't respond to the quality of the idea. It responds to the energy behind it. Because communication is not only about content, it's about conviction. It's about what do you stand for? And unfortunately, people often interpret uncertainty in delivery as uncertainty in thinking, even when that's not true at all. That's why intelligent people get overlooked. And it's really frustrating to see and to have it happen to you. Not because they lack intelligence, but because their communication lacks clarity and authority. This is important because there's a difference between humility and self-erasure. Humility says, I'm open to being wrong. Self-erasure says, my idea probably doesn't matter. And these are not the same thing. One is confidence with openness and a growth mindset. The other one is fear disguised as politeness. What can you do differently next time? Start by saying your idea first, clearly, without apologizing for its existence. Then explain it, not the other way around. Say the idea, then explain it. Begin noticing defensive language patterns in yourself like, just, maybe, I could be wrong, this might sound stupid. Start to notice these. Take them out. Because over time, those small phrases quietly train people to trust your message less. And sometimes train you to trust yourself less too. It becomes your second nature. So clear communication does not require arrogance. You do not need to dominate the room. You do not need to sound aggressive, but what you do need is to stop shrinking your message before anyone else hears it. Because clarity creates authority, and people are much more likely to trust an idea when the person saying it sounds like they trust it too. They believe it too. Because over time, those small phrases quietly train people to trust your idea and your messages less. And sometimes they train you too to trust yourself less too, and they become your second nature. So clear communication does not require arrogance. You do not need to sound aggressive. However, you do need to be clear, and you do need to stop shrinking your message before anyone else has a chance to hear it. Because clarity creates authority, and that authority translates energy as well. And people are much more likely to trust an idea when the person saying it sounds like they trust it too. So next time you doubt yourself, speak clearly, put some energy into it, use your voice, and you'll be trusted too.